It's pretty clear that Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch is shaping up to be a pretty special game. The PlayStation 3 exclusive JRPG from famed Japanese developer Level 5 and legendary Japanese animation firm Studio Ghibli comes to the West in January of 2013. And we have a build of the localized and translated game here at IGN, so we can tell you all about it ahead of time. A warning before we begin, however. This video spoils the first 2 hours of the game, so take this opportunity to shut the video off now if you don't want to know how the game starts.
Welcome to my world, Ollie boy!
What struck me when I began my adventure in Ni no Kuni is how extraordinary the development of the main character Oliver is, as well as how emotional, somber, and outright sad the game is when you first start playing it. I simply didn't expect it, and suffice to say, it threw me for a loop. Ni no Kuni doesn't begin in the fantasy-centric, whimsical setting that we've all seen so much of in preview coverage. Instead, it starts out, well, not too long ago, in the real world. The road sign you see at the beginning of the game indicates that Ni no Kuni actually begins in and takes place in America. And the way everyone speaks to each other suggests that we're looking at a small town in the United States in the 1950s.
Good morning, Miss Layla.
Why, good morning, Oliver.
Oliver's hometown is called Motorville, and not surprisingly, it revolves a great deal around a love of cars. There are several garages to be found, and some of the characters you can speak with early on talk about their automobiles incessantly. Not surprisingly, it's a car that sets Oliver on his path to a very different world than the one Ni no Kuni begins in. But more on that in a moment. What's perhaps most extraordinary about the first couple of hours in Ni no Kuni is Oliver's relationship with his mother, Allie. Allie seems to be a single mother. There's no mention of Oliver's father, and it doesn't appear that Oliver has any siblings either. The development of their relationship with each other, and how they clearly love each other, makes the events of the first 2 hours of Ni no Kuni, in a word, heartbreaking. But it's also great to see that Allie raised Oliver with kindness and respect, traits he regularly displays to others as he interacts with them. The unwinding of the peace of Motorville begins with Oliver's friend Philip, who convinces him to test drive a new hot rod he concocted. The two sneak out late at night, and Oliver is honored with the hot rod's maiden voyage. But a wheel comes loose and the hot rod crashes, sending Oliver flying into a nearby river. Allie, awoken earlier when she realizes that Oliver isn't in bed, happens to be walking over a bridge spanning the river, and jumps in to save her son in the nick of time. With Oliver safe, Allie falls ill due to this sudden excitement. Her weak heart sends her to the hospital, and sadly she passes away, leaving Oliver completely despondent.
Mommy, don't leave me. Oh!
Sitting in his room for days, Oliver grabs a doll his mom gave him several years ago. But when his tears fall on the doll suddenly comes to life. This character, Drippy, quickly catches Oliver up on what's happening in his world, a world parallel to the real world. It appears that Drippy needs Oliver's help in this alternate dimension, teaching him rudimentary magic and even promising that the revival of his deceased mother is a possibility if they are successful on their quest. And like that, you're transported to the world you may have expected in Ni no Kuni, one full of spellcraft, swords, and devious monsters. Keep it tuned to IGN for more on Ni no Kuni in the weeks leading up to its release on PlayStation 3, including plenty of details on the battle system, gameplay mechanics, and much, much more, culminating in our full review.